Now's the time for the fall ritual.
Welcome to Fall Ritual Haunted Attraction Video Reviews 2020. Today, I'm going to talk about Frightland. See right there, Frightland down in Middletown, Delaware. Frightland has 8 attractions to go through, and all 8 attractions are open for this season. It's $35 to get in. They do not have a VIP upgrade this year, so it's just the standard $35 general admission. They do have time ticketing, and it is highly recommended you get your tickets online. I believe you can get some at the window, but to avoid sellouts and being turned away, it is highly recommended you get your tickets online. As far as the COVID guidelines, this place by far has been the strictest with the guidelines, which was really, really awesome to see. They were not messing around at this place. Really, really enforcing masks to the point that we were waiting to get into the barn, and one of the employees threatened to kick someone out because they weren't wearing their mask properly. That's how serious they were about the guidelines. This place had the most hand sanitizing stations I have seen. They were just everywhere. Before certain attractions, they made you, use hand sanitizer before and after. The social distancing was the best I've seen at this place. With the uniqueness of the way they were doing it, I'll explain that later with the different attractions. But by far the best was social distancing, especially in queue lines. And they do check your temperature before going in. So this place was no joke when it came to the guidelines. They were doing an incredible job with that. So when you first get there, parking is $5, so be prepared to have cash on you because it is $5 for parking. That money goes to the leukemia research. Just know that in advance that it is $5 for parking. When you get up to where you have to go in, there is an employee there checking your tickets. Make sure that you are there at your time slot. I noticed a couple groups of people standing off to the side. I imagine those people were there probably earlier than they're supposed to be, and they were making them wait for their time slot. So they are super strict about you getting there right when you're supposed to. You do have to go up to the ticket booth, even though you buy your tickets online. Like you said, I think they have very, very limited tickets for sale there, but make sure you get your tickets online just so you don't get all the way down there and they sell out. After you get your ticket, you go around, you're gonna go through a gift shop. This gift shop was awesome. They had by far the cheapest merch I've ever seen at a haunted attraction. $10 t-shirts, $20 hoodies, it was like $15 sweatpants, stickers, magnets, stuff, everything was super cheap. An awesome little gift shop that you're gonna walk through to get to the attractions. First thing we did when we got there, we went on the hayride. We figured that would be the longest line, so hit that first. Their way of social distancing on the in the hayride line was really good, the best I've seen so far, and very unique. You're gonna, wind your way through the whole line, and get to a point. A worker's gonna stop you. Then when it's your turn, you're gonna go into a little cage with only a few people. And from that little cage area, you're gonna go into 3 different little stall type rooms. In those little rooms are benches. Those benches represent where you'll be sitting on the wagon. Now, when you sit down with your group, they have a pool noodle that's separating you from the next group. I thought that was a very unique way of social distancing groups from each other. Just having like a pool noodle on the wall that they slide down so there's distance between you and the next group. Then when you get on the actual wagon, there's it looked like hay bales that were covered up, and then that is what's going to distance you from another group. So I thought that was really good. They've been so far the best with distancing in line and on a wagon. Going through this hayride, I was completely blown away. It's been 9 years since I've been to Frightland. I didn't remember much, and this hayride just blew me away. I thought it was one of the best I've seen. Incredible scenes. I mean, just the props, the animatronics. There's tons of animatronics. They all work. They're all like right on cue. It was just unbelievable. They didn't have many actors, but the actors that were there were just unbelievable. I mean, just coming out of nowhere, just giving you some good jump scares. This hayride, depending on where you sit and the way it goes, you might get some water on you, and other different attractions, you might get some water on you too, depending on where you are and where you stand and everything. The scenes here, I can't describe too many scenes. I don't want to give it away. I will say they have a clown like carnival scene that was unbelievable. Just the props that they were using for it was just the coolest thing I've ever seen. At one point they had a drive-in thing. I mean, the projection screen they use, I can't even guess how big that screen is, but it was massive. And they were showing Night of the Living Dead. They had a whole bunch of cars around it. Just a really cool looking drive-in scene that you don't really see too often. That's what really impressed me about this hayride. They had a lot of scenes you don't see anywhere else. One scene, I will say, I don't know how many people are going to get the reference, but if you do, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll know how awesome it is. They had like these little green lights projected onto like the trees. You're like in the woods, and it was just like fog and green lights. It reminded me of an X-Files episode, the one with like the little green bugs out in the woods. I thought that was awesome. If you know that episode, you'll know what I'm talking about, and they pulled it off really good. Whether or not they were going for that, I don't know, but that's what it reminded me of. The music being played on the hayride was awesome. We were right up by the speaker. We got to hear all the music, the sounds, the weird voices coming through it. Just awesome hayride. My girlfriend didn't go with me. At the end, I texted her. I'm like, God, that hayride was awesome. That was almost worth the admission alone. And there were 7 other things we had to get through. So unbelievable hayride. After the hayride, it's going to drop you off at the Ravenwood Cemetery, which is a trail, and that's going to lead into the Fear attraction, which is another trail. The cemetery and the Fear are kind of just one. It's 2 attractions combined into one. In fact, if there wasn't a little sign that says you're now entering Fear, I wouldn't even have known. But this trail was great. The props were great. There was actors. There was fog. The Fear section of it, there was a great spider scene that if you're terrified of spiders, it's probably going to be tough for you to walk through. Just again, the props, the animatronics. everything was just so good. Um, for people who complain, oh, there's not enough actors, and I get it, you need actors in there, but I thought they had actors where there should be, and if an actor didn't call for it, that was fine because there's so much to look at. Um, it takes your mind off that, oh, there should be more actors, but there's so much to see and so much to look at and just so much going on, you kind of lose track of, oh, I didn't realize there wasn't an actor there. It didn't need one. But the actors that were there were incredible and doing a great job. So after the trail, you're gonna hit the Ghost Town attraction. It is awesome that they have like this Old West style attraction because you don't see that really anywhere. And it looks like an Old West type town where you're just gonna go indoors, outdoors. You're gonna go into like this double door saloon and there's like an actor walking on the bar. You're gonna go through like a prison, like a bank. It's just the whole thing outside looks like a little like Old West town. It's just, you don't see that really anywhere. And that's just what makes that attraction so cool, is just that it's so unique and different. Also, with it being in like Old West type town, there is a lot of gunshots going off just behind you everywhere. It is loud. After the ghost town, you're gonna hit the barn. The barn, before you go in, the employee there is gonna ask you to use the hand sanitizer, which is awesome. I've never been to a place where like they made you use hand sanitizer before going into an attraction. That was nice to see that they were really enforcing that. This place though, this part of the attraction was very intense. As soon as you walk in that first room, it's just unbelievable what they're doing with special effects. And it just doesn't let up from there. It's crazy going through this thing, you know, there's darkness, tight areas, just so much going on. I believe you're gonna get hit with some water in the barn as well. Actors were incredible in there, just unbelievable. It is very, very intense. And they have hand sanitizer once you get done. And that's gonna put you to the attic. And speaking of intense, the attic is crazy. If you have a problem with the dark, and if you are claustrophobic, you are gonna have a big problem going through this. This is the darkest thing I've seen. It's just so many turns. You gotta feel around. They do make you use sanitizer before going into the attic, and there's some afterwards. This place is just, it's so dark. I can't stress that enough. At the end, I love the ending of the attic. There is like one of those vortex tunnels that you're gonna walk through, which is like, it was spinning so fast. This was like one of the fastest spinning vortexes I've seen, and that really messes you up, especially after just going through pitch black. There's also another scene at the end. I really don't want to spoil it, but it is really cool. So attic was just crazy intense. After the attic, you're gonna hit the house, the Adelia's manor. This was another just very, very intense. And the special effects, I don't know how they pull off these special effects, but they are incredible. And depending on where you stand, you are gonna get hit with some water. And again, it like, where you get hit with water incorporates with like what's being like projected onto walls and stuff. It's just, I don't know how they do it, but I kind of don't want to know how they do it. I don't want to ruin that mystery of it. But it's just awesome. I would say the house had probably one of the creepiest baby doll rooms I have seen. Most houses have some type of like, doll type baby room. This was by far the creepiest. I could not wait to get out of that room, and it had me freaked out. Um, the props on the walls were some of the creepiest things I've ever seen. And again, the actors in there were incredible. Like you're distracted by a prop or an animatronic, and then someone's behind you, or you're looking at an actor and something goes off behind you. It's just, this house is pretty intense. After the house, you're gonna do the zombie prison, which is the last attraction. The prison, again, it's indoor, outdoor. You're going through this thing. The first thing you're gonna go is like down this long hallway. There's a lot of fog, a lot of lights. Being in a tunnel with the fog, it has this really cool effect. It's not like the like that swampy effect. It's just like all around. There's lights and everything. It's just awesome. Me and my friend who I went through probably got the biggest jump scare in the zombie prison. You're just looking at a prop, this animatronic going off, and all of a sudden an actor, I have no idea where he even came out of, just comes out, scares the crap out of you. And I mean, I was literally almost on my knees. That's how big of a jump scare I got. It was freaking crazy. But like I said, you're gonna go indoor, outdoor, back in, back out, round buses. It's just, it's an intense attraction that you're gonna go through. After that, you're done. That's all 8 attractions. Usually at Frightland, if you've been there, if you know Frightland, they have like huge, like, it looks like a state fair. It looks like a carnival. There's rides, there's games, there's food trucks. There was none of that this year. It's one of those things, they're just trying not to have people hang around. They kind of just want you to go through it, be done. They did have a couple vending machines that you can get like soda and snacks from, but other than that, there was like no place to sit down. There was just, it's kind of just like go through it, and they really gave you no reason to hang out. Although there is a ton of photo ops. And they even have little signs that saying like photo op, it's like they encourage you to take a picture. And not only like in like the midway area, but like going from attraction to attraction, there's going to be photo ops, which is awesome. And it's cool that they have little signs that say like, photo op area. And they really encourage people to take pictures. Outside, obviously you can't do any pictures inside, but this place really blew me away. Like I said, it's been 9 years since I've been there. I'm so glad I came back this year to see it. They had the COVID guidelines just so good. Even when we were leaving, they had like a DJ playing music and like talking. The DJ was looking over the hayride line, and we heard him say on the loudspeaker, if you're not a group of 60, you better break it up. So, I mean, they had someone monitoring the hayride line, making sure people were separated. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. It was awesome to see. Highly recommend checking out Frightland. Buy your tickets online. There's Frightland. They will sell out weekends, especially now that it's super close to Halloween. Check them out, Frightland. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all the subscribers. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Fall Ritual. Thank you.